is Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. push. I did not catch it because I was sleeping. I went out last night. But I want to show you what textbook trades are. I want to show you what textbook 4-hour momentum setup scalp to swings are like. So when you see this kind of setup, okay, when you see the 4-hour just engulfing this strong, it broke past resistance and now it's in between zones. You see how it's in between? It hasn't hit that next zone yet. So what you're going to want to do is pop up your pip count, and you can see, okay, well, it's at least 14 pips just to the top of that wick. That gives you a good blueprint of how many pips into your next zone at least, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go down to the 15-minute because I want you to see. Oh, it already rewinded. I want you to see exactly what is happening here, okay? I want to show you exactly what is happening here. We're in between zones. I think it's going to erase it again, which is fine. It does. So what's going on is I'm looking for, I want to see what price is doing in order to get an idea for structure. Because if you look at the bottom of the screen, that's 5, 515, 545. So the next candle becomes 6. We already know that it was extremely engulfing. So what we pay attention to is the fact that we are making higher highs and higher lows. We've already broken this structure. That's that most recent zone. So what did it do? This is your box. It broke the box and it retested. And then it really wants to go to those next zones. So based off of 4-hour momentum, I'm going to hit play now. So you can see exactly what price ends up doing in regards to market structure, right? Because what price is going to do is if she's bullish, she's going to be making higher highs and higher lows. Boom, boom, boom. More pullbacks. Boom. So you see how price is making those higher highs and those higher lows based off of 4-hour time frame. I think it starts to make a retrace here. I didn't draw this next destination up. But as you can see, now it's making that little bit of a retrace, and that's where price is currently. But if we look at the 4-hour time frame now, right? Let me replay the whole thing just from the 4-hour perspective now. Because I want you to see this. I want you to see, because this is how I trade. This is what I looked for. This is what I traded yesterday. Right here. On this huge bullish push, and we were in between zones, and we traded that scalp. Yes, she pulled back down, but who cares? You'll see in my previous video, who cares? What matters is we caught the 15-pip scalp. I think I closed at 12 on most of them. But it went 15. So I'm going to hit play now. And I want you to just see, oh my Atlanta. Maybe I need to make it smaller updates. Because it just makes the whole entire, I don't want the whole candle to go. What does this button do? No. It just goes too much. I don't want it to go that much. Let me try one more time. I'm still getting the hang of this. I just figured out I can do this. So it makes these YouTube videos so much better. Because then I can just go rewind and show you exactly what's going down. Play. If I hit play, maybe that's better. No, it's kind of just being lame. I wanted it to just kind of go in slow-mo so you can see exactly what's going on. But we did off of the smaller time frame, off that 15-minute time frame. But you definitely see we were in between zones. This is textbook. This is textbook trade. We're at least 10 pips to the next zone. Or 14 pips, whatever. And what ends up happening? Price ends up going 26 pips in just this time frame. Now, the one thing that you do want to keep in mind is where do you put stop losses? Oops, hiccups. That's what you want to know. So what I'm going to do is if I'm buy bias, if I'm entering literally off of the 4-hour time frame, buy here, literally, if I'm making buys just based off the 4-hour time frame, we just want to know where our stop loss is going to be. So here's 6. My stop loss is going to be around this. My stop loss is going to be around this most recent support. That's just to give it more range to be able to move. Yes, it's 14 pips. Yes, price ended up going 26 pips. But as you can see, even by placing a stop loss of 14 pips, price only ever went 2 pips. So you can never say, oh, well, my risk to reward is this. Because you can have a risk of 14 pips and price only goes 5 pips. And you close that in 5 pips. But price never went this far down. So you can never just have a risk to reward of like 1 to 7 or 1 to 4 unless you're just the all-time best swing trader. You guys have to understand that exit points are important. Where are you exiting? Where are you getting out of the trade? That's important. It doesn't matter what your risk to reward is. What matters is where you actually close. You can have a negative risk to reward all day long and be a very profitable trader. Why? Because you only allowed the 14 pip to move in order to get the 5 or 10 pip bullish push. You see how that works? Because price never actually went down 14 pips. I'm just looking beyond the most recent support. That's just where I want to place my stop loss, just in case. Did it ever go? In this situation, it would have never had gone. But look how strong the momentum is. Look how strong the momentum is. When I rewind that, all you have to do is look. All you have to do is say, wow, where do I think this is going? Drop your zones. This is literally how every single day my charts will end up looking. I'm setting myself up. I'm waiting for setups where I'm just in between zones. Look what happened just recently. We rejected the same resistance. And look, we're in between zones. And what did price do after breaking structure so hard? It just went down to the next zone. Right? Made a new lower high. More wicks to fill. And it just went right back to that next zone. And now we're making this new higher. It's a lower high, but new higher high and a higher low. It broke this structure, new higher high. It's overall lower high, but what it's doing is it's changing that trend right there. And we're already buy bias based off the week. Because we already talked about the weekly. And how the weekly is just so strong and it's going up. We're going to 114. We already talked about that. We will hit 114 this week, I can guarantee you. It's just here. Why wouldn't we go up another 100, 150 pips? Why not? That's where our destinations are. We're at least coming up into 113.3. Let's see what the new 1 hour looks like. We're going to make another push here. The 1 hour is making a new higher low. It wants to keep going. It just did a 15-minute pullback. It wants to keep going. But very simply put, see, now I'm going to be trading at 10 a.m. So look at what it's doing. If it breaks above resistance here with this huge wick to go fill, oh, you better believe that we're going to continue into momentum. Depending on how this 4 hour closes in the next 59 minutes. Maybe even taking buys pretty close to now might not even be a bad. Just seeing how these new candles form. If these candles start forming a rally, of course I'm going to be getting in for 10 a.m. I missed the 6. I missed the textbook. Right? I missed the textbook. But it doesn't mean that I cannot get in for the next opportunity, which will be in the next hour. And as you can see, we are probably just going to be making more higher lows to go up. We are already super bull biased based off of that weekly. That weekly was too strong. We are setting new levels. We already talked about it. I made another YouTube video about it. But just looking at these candles alone, guys, I get a lot of hate when I say like it can be easy. Like people literally get offended when I say it can be easy. And I think that's because they've lost so much and they don't have a strategy that works for them. So it works for us, and this took me almost 2 years to literally figure out that really works consistently. And it's just following momentum off of higher time frames. Because you can catch one of these setups a week, just one, go heavy margin, and you can pay for your whole month's bills in one setup. Right? Look what she did. Boom, textbook, in between zones. That's it. That's it. So now, depending on your trading plan and how many entries you put, you close at a certain percentage, but stop loss and profit, let it run. Now it's a scalp to swing. Now it is a scalp to swing, because what if it just keeps going? What if this was the break that it just keeps going the rest of the week? Is it possible? Absolutely. Absolutely. But what matters is the fact that these types of setups happen every single week. We just had one yesterday. It rejected hard, but it doesn't matter. It was here, and it launched up 15 pips. 15 pips. It had zero drawdown. It had zero drawdown. We suffered zero drawdown from our entries last night. That was another setup. Textbook, in between zones, just textbook. It rejected, but it doesn't matter because that's what you're looking for. Boom. Look how strong it was. It broke past resistance in between zones. Okay, well, there it is. The next thing you do is the only thing you need to focus on after that is where your stop loss can be. And if you wait a little bit longer, what it's doing. But since price is already making higher highs and higher lows, it just made a new higher low for 6 a.m. So all it's doing is just going up. See how it broke this structure, made a new higher low? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You don't need to have a lot of candles to make a new higher low. One is all it needs. And that's what it did. It just made one. Boom, boom. Another pullback, boom. And she's not done. This is textbook. This is literally what me and my team literally just focus on. And all you need to do when you trade 4-hour momentum is you can just type in any other pair. Let's look at Euro USD. I bet you Euro USD maybe had something this morning. Let's check it out. Textbook, 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 guys. This happens with any pair. It doesn't matter the pair. Right? Where do we just reject? And look how strong it is. Look how strong it is. Where is those next zones that we maybe want to go to? Probably in this whole wick range area. Because look how we broke below this support. So I think we really want to go to the next one. Look what happened. In between zones. This can happen on any pair. If there's something that you like more than the other, just go to that one. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. We're 6. Here's 6. Boom. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. Boom. Huge pullback. Right for 7. More lower highs. Boom, boom. Right by 8. Boom. There's never a missed opportunity, even in just this last 1 hour push. It dropped 28 pips. All the money was just recently. But look at the 4-hour. Look at the 4-hour. How strong it rejected. Why would it be going bullish? Why? And I bet you if you pulled out your currency strength meter, I bet you the US dollar just has an incredible amount of strength. And that's what made it push. There you go. The US dollar had so much strength, and that pulled Euro USD down, and it made Euro USD Jappy just launch. It's textbook, guys. You can do this with any pair. It doesn't matter. Let's see if GBP USD had something. It did, but this was already engulfing. So this was already so strong. Look, we blew past all the zones. Blew past the zone. Blew past the zone. And we already hit this zone. So this is not what I'm looking at. I'm typically not necessarily looking at these types as much because we've already broken past the zones. That's too strong. That's too strong. Is it still going to go bearish? It could. It could still go down here. I don't like that. It's too strong. If it was like strong and it closed right here, oh, absolutely. It's going to this. It's going to these next zones. Absolutely. But it already blew past everything on that 2 a.m. Let's look at some more. Let's look at GBP Jappy. Let's get an idea. So this is already touching the next zone. Because this would have been the next destination. This is the most recent. If we would have closed smaller like here, then yes, we're in between zones. All this ended up doing was hitting support and just rejecting heavy, really heavy. I don't trade GJ, but this was not a textbook setup. This was not a textbook setup since we already were engulfing into, you can see by these wicks, see it already did tap that zone. Too strong. If it was in between the zones, then I look at it. We may just be making a new lower high to go bearish now though. All we did was, we have a cross. This might be a retest to go back into some lows, but that is not textbook. USD JAPY and Euro USD are literally can be the best pairs for this. And the only reason why is because USD JAPY and Euro USD, they don't have many fake outs. This looks like it could have been good. This is pretty textbook too, actually, because we're in between zones. We are in between zones. So this is the structure that we broke. I like this one a lot. And this was the next structure for price to go to. So I'm going to delete everything else just so you can get a clear idea. So this was that support. Look, price broke through the support, all of them. And then the next zone is here. Based off these wicks, actually more here is probably the most appropriate. This is probably the most appropriate here. Based off these wicks. You see how we're in between the zones? In between the zones. Now, I don't know the behavior of AUD USD. So as you can see, AUD USD has more pullbacks maybe. But let's look where 6 a.m. falls. So look, 5:30, boom. Another pullback. We broke structure right for 6 and it dropped. That was where your money would have been. It's all already here. 11 pips right there in the beginning. And it pulls back again. And it's probably just not done. Because it made that pullback. It dropped in the very beginning and then it pulled back and then it dropped again. But it's still textbook. That's still textbook. Because we're in between zones. We already broke this structure. Look, we've already broken all of these structures. Even this structure here, we broke it. And we're in between zones. At least even into this wick range. That can be where you set your TP, right? Just, okay, well, at least a TP just off price action. And I always close at 10 pips. So that would have been perfect for me because it literally went down immediately in just the first 6:15. So this took 15 minutes, 6:30, by 6:45, 45 minutes, and there's all your money. Done for the day. Textbook. Let's see if UJ is still going up. Yep, there it is. Just a 14 EMA tap. A retest just to go back up. And since we've been on the webinar, she literally went up another almost 10 pips. And that's just from having pullbacks. A pullback, this was a very nice pullback on the 14 EMA and it just was setting up. We're probably just going to keep going into momentum. It's just so strong. If it continues to break above, it's going to be a perfect 10 a.m. for me, I'm almost assuming. So I just wait 50 minutes. Because if anything, I would have already been looking to get in here. Just off of the pullback. It's just a safe entry. Because before it wants to go down anymore, it definitely wants to make a pullback first. And as you can see, and this is a very good just rejection, like doji style off of the 14 EMA. Very, very perfect buy confirm. Very perfect buy confirm for scalping, hyper scalping. And there's already almost my profit target at 9 pips. And you just take that and run. Based off of the 1 hour, right? The 1 hour making a new higher low, as we talked about, probably just going to keep pushing. As long as the currency meter just stays really green for US dollar, it's probably just going to keep pushing. And then just see how strong it is. It's very dominant. The US dollar is very dominant today. Very simple momentum. And this is what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for a bunch of candles here on the 15 minute, just setting up for a nice push for the 10 a.m. But this was just quick and easy, guys. I just want you guys to see, because now we're in between the zones, because look at even here. You have to look on the daily to get these next zones, because we're making new highs. This is generally where that next destination is that price wants to go, based off price action. 113. Look at the hours. Maybe we even go there right now. Maybe we won't even have time for 10 a.m. It might just come quick. Maybe 10 a.m. we consolidate. But since we've been on, as I was looking at it, I was saying, man, I want to take buys now, but I am recording the webinar instead. So little miscommunication on my part, just because this was a good setup. This was just an ideal setup to have gotten in for something for the morning. But I will wait till 10 and hop on with my crew. But this is very textbook, and I just wanted you guys to see what I would have saw, and I walked you through some more momentum on other pairs. Just some textbook. So you guys can literally just switch through all kinds of different pairs. Oh, more textbook. See? Just be patient, guys. Look how textbook this was. There, it already broke in between zones. That's it. That's literally it, guys. Look at the 4-hour candle. Look how strong it is. It blew past resistance, and now we're in between zones. We're in between zones. What did the 15-minute do? Did the 15-minute have higher highs and higher lows? Yes. Higher highs, higher lows. Making higher highs and higher lows with the 4-hour momentum there. Today was a great morning. Today was just a great morning. Look, we blew past structure and we're in between zones. Don't get mad at me if I post that it's easy. Don't get mad at me. Just adopt it. Just start working on momentum. It's easy. Hit play. Boom! Look at how strong that girl is. Let's see how many pips that was. Huge momentum. And you guys see why you only need one of these a week. 41 pips. Look at that. Stop loss and profit. All you had to do. There's your full margin right there. Here's 530, 545. Boom. By 6. Even it made a pullback here. So by 7 it launched. But it went 41 pips. Move stop loss and profit. Re-enter. Whatever. Look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour was probably perfect. Not necessarily perfect, but it was just that by 5 a.m. it definitely was setting up for the 6 a.m. push. There's your 6 a.m. push. That was a ton of 6 a.m. pushes today, guys. You can trade any pair doing this. This is momentum, higher time frame. That's it. You wait for those one types of setups. Look how perfect the setup was. Boom! Today was good. Today was really good. I don't trade 6 a.m. as much anymore. I'm too tired in the morning. But at least you guys can kind of witness what I see and how I simplify it. And of course, on my trading plan, I mean, you guys already know, but this is how I trade. Is do we have higher time frame momentum? Yes. Currency meters in favor. That's just the bonus it was. What is this? Oh, it wants me to type. You can identify structure, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. We already knew that the 15-minute was making higher highs and higher lows. So it's telling you that we have bullish structure. You plotted out your zones. We already plotted out our zones if we were trading at the time. Right? This is literally what my zones would have been. All they would have been. I wouldn't have even needed this one. All I would have needed was this. Is the fact that we blew past this structure and this, well, where's the next zone at? There's the next zone. So there's your new destination. Sometimes it doesn't come immediately. Maybe sometimes it makes a little bit of a pullback. But in this case, since the currency meter was so strong, look, CAD had nothing. So it's freaking going right now, boy. That's a little cheat sheet. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. Very simply put. Very simply put. So I'll see you guys on the next one.